All right, it is time to do a CSS battle. Let's see what we have today. I keep missing. It's an egg thing. All right. Uh, hmm. So, I'm not sure exactly how to approach this. This looks not like a pill. Usually, if you use borders, you're making a pill. You can, in theory, use compound radiuses and get this shape, but I think it's going to be easier to use a radial gradient to get this shape. I could be wrong. Wrong. I usually am. So I'm going to say background. I'm going to say radial gradient. I'm going to say this color and this color. This color. Okay. I don't know what the radius is, so I'm going to start at 100 pixels, which I don't think is enough, but that's okay. That one's 0. All right. I don't normally do radial gradients that aren't circular, so usually I use this little 1Q trick to make a circle, right? I'm not going to do that today because I need an actual ellipse. Now, as I understand it, and I haven't used these much, the values that I need to provide here are basically a ratio between the height and the width, which seems kind of working. Let's make that 70. So it's not big enough. Oh, also, I feel like a 99% solution coming today, so we'll see. 283. And then 199, 98. That's getting shorter. 82, 80. Maybe this is less. I don't know. 18. 99. Go back to 100. 99 looks better. 99, not 9. Okay, I'm not confident that's a match because there are 3 numbers all working at once here. Okay, now it needs to be taller. Does it need to be taller? It looks like it's crossing over. It's like not tall enough, crosses over, and then becomes too wide? I don't know. I'm gonna leave it there for a minute. I don't know. The other thing looks like it is also an ellipse, but it is different than the first one, of course. Smaller. I wonder. Oh, also, what I'm seeing right now is actually the body. So if I select that, does it change? No, not really. Okay, that's all right. Now I'm going to select the body. And what do I want to do with the body? I want to, can I just margin it? 100. Outline 1 pixel solid. There it is. Background red. Okay. 0. Now let's get rid of background red. Let's put this down here. I understand that I'm copy pasting. I want to fix that in a little bit if this even works, which I have no guarantees of. All right, so margin doesn't need to be 100, it needs to be 75. And then border, block. This color, 30 pixels solid, 40 pixels. Now it doesn't come in, but that's okay because we can change this to something like 97. And now you get the idea. It's wrong, but you see where kind of I'm going. Okay, that's kind of close. It's not right. None of it's right. Let's see how, well, I have an outline, so it's not going to matter. Let's see how close we are without an outline. 99.1 with the outline. So basically, this is my solution. My plan is to use variables, font, something to modify these values if needed for the body background. But this is basically my solution. It's going to be, we can check how many characters it is now. It's 179 characters now. That will be reduced. But the rest of this video is pixel pushing. So feel free to drop now if you want. All right, let's turn the diff on. 79. That means this needs to be less. 15. Let's try 78. 14. Okay, that looks like on the outer one, it is now too thin. And if I understand correctly, this is basically the width and this is the height. Let's confirm that. Let's make this 110. Yeah, that's the height. So let's leave that at 100. And I think now it needs to be wider. 79, 80. So now let's make it 115, 16, 17. May have been the same numbers I had before. Come on back in. Same score. Let's try this 81, 82. I don't see it actually changing. Oh, yeah, it's changing. 85, 86, 87, 88, 92, 95, 99. Is that a circle? That might be a circle. If that's a circle, this can just become one Q. Still 99.8, so no better. All right, let's try fixing this at 100 and then adjusting these. So this is going to be 120, 110 is not enough, 118, 117. All right, that's 16. That's close. Now this needs to be bigger. Let's try 85. That made the top smaller, which is confusing. Let's try 90. It's not making the sides wider like I thought it was going to. So that's not the way to go about this. Let's try this at 100. Leave that there. Try adjusting just these two. So this is going to be 120. If you're going to do 20, you have to do 20. 20. 30. 29. 28. No, 31. 32. 31 looks closest. Now, is adjusting this going to make it wider or shorter? I don't know. but it needs to go less, so let's try 85. It makes it taller, which is confusing. Wow, 80. Okay. So I'm figuring this out a little bit. This is going to control the width. Maybe this controls the minimum dimension, and this is the ratio between the dimensions. Maybe that's the way it works. I don't know. Let's try 115. Let's start there. That looks reasonably close on the width. Let's see if we can adjust the height down. 81, 79. That looks like about the right height, but now the width is off. Let's make the width a little more. 118. And then pull the height down some more. 77. Nope, wrong way. 80, 81. Still doesn't look right. But it's closer. 99.9 now. Let's try 82. That looks worse. 81. Let's try 120 here. 82, 83. Okay, 82. Now at 120, 82, these look worse. Yeah, they're definitely too wide there. So that means this needs to come back down. Let's try 118. Now it's too short, so we need to make it taller. Make it taller means this being smaller. 81. Now these edges, we'll turn off the diff. These edges are still too wide there, which means that this number is too big. Let's try 16. And then let's move this back up. That looks right, but now this entire line looks wrong. The edges look correct, but the curvature is wrong. 17, which is what I had before.
Hey, is that okay?
Sure.
It didn't really look.
I did. It looks fine. Okay. 80, 79. That's too short. 80. I'm pretty sure I've had this a couple times. Back to 99.8. That's worse. Let's undo a little bit. Yep. How was that? Undo a little more. Wait, I had it somewhere in there. Had 99.9, not the correct value. Maybe that was it. Yeah, that's 99.9. Okay. Let's start playing with half pixels. That's worse. So let's try 18 again. I think that's going to be 99.9. 5. That looks worse, but who knows? Could also bring up the other previewer. That's worse. Let's do this. Let's go there, 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 there. Uh, Copy image address, custom image. Okay. Copy code. And let's turn on the diff. So it looks basically the same. So it means I'm not getting any weird font size things or anything like that. Let's try 80. Well, let's go back over here. Let's try 80. That looks worse, but might be better. That is worse. 81. Back to 99. 82. Looks worse. Is worse. Let's try 80.5. $81. So maybe this is just entirely the wrong shape. So let's try something else. Background. This color. Let's just use ampersand selector. Border. 50 pixels. Solid. This color. Margin. I don't know, 5. 60. 70. And I realize I'm making the inside. I don't particularly care right now. I'm just trying to get the outside working. Hello. Oh. Interesting. We'll deal with that later. Uh, Border radius. Say 50 pixels. Actually, is it a percent in this case? 50%. Okay. Now let's just turn this off. 80. 5. 80. Whoops. That doesn't look good either. What if it were not 50%, but 100 pixels? 80 pixels. 120. 150. 160. Now it's pushing, it's too much. It's starting to push the other way. 150. What if this one is much? What if it were 80? Whoops, not 800, 80. So one of these is horizontal, the other one's vertical. 140. 30, 100, going the wrong way. One, go back to 100, 120, and then make this 120. Now can I margin in again? 70. Nope, wrong way. 90. Now we're getting close to 94. Now we're really close, which now that's just 120. Whoops. Now that's just 120. Now I just need to figure out how to make this part work and not stretch it. Okay, so why is this pushing it down? Because the margin 0, 10, 50. The margin top is too much. Let's make the margin top 20. I'm out of time. And minus 20, 50. This needs to, of course, be more, which is going to move everything. 60. 60 enough? Nope. 70. Okay. That's just enough, which might work. Now this thing needs to be 80. And 0. And 0, which means this can go away. It didn't go away yet, but that's okay. Oh, still 99.9. 92. Nope, that's worse. 95. That might be better. Hey, we got a match. All right. Now, what stupid stuff have I done? Order block. I currently do need that. Zero, minus 80. Well, I don't know. Is it worth? I mean, I'm 184 characters. That's a lot of characters. So the extension that I think it's Evan built tells you the minified character count here all the time, and I found it to be pretty accurate. This minify is usually better than me doing it manually. The only place that this doesn't work is if you're doing a color definition. It doesn't get rid of the leading pound. But I have a background. I have a border. I'm not using box shadow, so it doesn't make sense to get rid of background and replace it with a box shadow. Margin I can't do without. Border radius I don't think I can do without. Instead of border block, border won't help. This is just a circle. Since I'm, I can't, yeah, my idea was to draw a circle just with border radius, but that's going to affect these things, the borders that I'm hiding stuff with. Is there another way to hide stuff there? Sure. I could do, since I'm already doing a gradient, in theory I can get rid of that. All right, let's undo that. quit. Let's submit here. That will get me a score with 253 characters. I'll just have to remember that, 253. So is it going to be shorter to do a linear gradient to mask that? I doubt it, but let's see. Gradient, comma, red, blue. Okay. Just get something working. It's going to go from transparent, not black, transparent. If it's that, then I'm going to see it. I don't want transparent. I want blue, actually. Blue. I got rid of my parentheses somehow. To transparent. To that color again. So there's the basics. Now I just need pixel values. I don't know what that is. I had a border. It told me 40 pixels. 0. 80 pixels to start with. And then 0. Clearly not nearly enough here. So let's try 120, 30, 10. That's 269. The previous one was 253. The previous was better. Yeah, I mean, it works, but the other was better. Yeah, I guess this is where I am today. Would have been better had my radial gradient for both worked out. It would have saved some characters. But it didn't. So we're here. Just do this. And let's minify and submit. And it looks like we're calling that a day. I may play with some other things, but that's basically where I am today. If you stuck around this long, thanks for watching. See you next time.